What's up, guys? Today I'm going to show you how to install a drip system in under 2 hours. It's going to be the quickest, easiest way. No digging has to be involved. I did a little bit of digging in mine. And you're going to have an operable drip system. Battery operated to keep it simple. No wiring necessary. So yeah, let's get started. As you can see back there, we've got some trees in the back corner and over there, and the ones that are on the dry strip in the back, they don't get any irrigation currently, so I'm going to be working on installing a drip system. We've got quite a few things here, so these are all going to be necessary to automate it, to split off from the hose tee, and this is a regulator and half-inch connection. We got some fittings, we've got our hoses and some staples over there. I've also got this extension. I'm not sure if we're going to use that. I was thinking about putting this filter on, but that might be overkill because there's a little filter in this one, and this piece also has a filter as well. So we'll see. I might test it out without it. Got these to cut the hose, and yeah. First thing is we gotta go hook these up. Alright, so first things first, we gotta get our connection established. So this is off. Oops. Water in the pipe. Gotta let that out. This thing also has a backflow preventer, which is nice. At some point I am planning on adding the plumbing and adding another sprinkler manifold to put this on the sprinkler system, but right now just trying to see. Everything has rubber fittings and isn't leaking, so before I do Teflon tape, I'm just gonna try it. Experimenting, you know? We'll see what happens. Alright. So just get this nice and hand tight. And make sure these are operable. Alright. Those are on. Quick test. No leak, that's a good sign. Alright, next thing is the drip system. It's going to go that way to the fence and follow the fence line back around, so I'm going to go ahead and install this on this closest one. I've already got the batteries in here. I chose this model because it had the best battery life reviews. Okay. Check that. Currently not leaking. Okay. Just let the pressure out. And now we're going to install our regulator and our connection to the drip system. And as you can see, there's kind of a lot coming off this hose bib. It's pretty structurally sound, so I'm not terribly worried about the weight of this on anything except for these plastic things. So yeah, looks like that extension hose isn't going to be entirely necessary. But yeah, let's see here. Okay. So now this has to live on think I'm gonna want to keep this off so that this hose doesn't have to stay pressurized. And there we go, and this is going to be the hose valve. And we've got nothing leaking here. So yeah, so the first part's done. Let's get ready for the next one. Alright, so next thing is I'm going to get this connected up. Need ultimately about 150 feet of this main line to go all the way around. So I have 200-foot rolls and a bunch of fittings. And we're gonna, that gets us there. First thing is just freeing, and I don't want litter all over my backyard, so there's that. And then the next question is this going to fit on? I've heard that not every half inch is the same on drip mainline. But we should probably do this first. This goes on this way. You gotta work this over the barn. And that's up to the point. And now, is that on backwards? I think it might be on backwards. Damn it. Well, there you go. Make sure this is on the right way. Which is actually that way. Slide that on. Get this over. Oh boy. What have I done? Do I not know how to use this thing? Is that what's going on here? That is what's going on. Okay. So this, I think, actually stays on first. All these connections are different. And then we're going to cinch it up from this side. Okay. There we go. Real-time learning. Check that out. So that should be good. So now that we're in, I'm going to take you and show you from here to there. I'm going to make a run, and then I'm going to go over that retaining wall and run it along the fence line. But I want to send it under the deck here, and then for this stretch I want to bury it because we have an access gate back there, and I don't, just in case we ever need to move anything in and out here, I don't want to be running it over or walking over that. So now I'm just going to measure this and roughly measure it, and I'll probably overcut it at first, and then we'll go from there. So as you can see, it's running under the deck. And it goes under there. Nice and easy like. And it comes out right here. Alright, next up is, I guess I gotta finish this little trench. It's just gonna be a shallow bury. But yeah, we'll get working on that. Alright, so let's test this before we bury it. So we've got, hold this bad boy, 10-minute manual. No leaks coming out of there yet. And we have water. Okay. Let's turn this off. Is that how you do it? Okay, quick off and on does the trick. It's all hooked up. There is no leaks coming out of here. So now it's time to bury this thing. Alright, so it's very dry here. It's spring. I'd recommend doing this. It's late spring, which in California means hasn't rained for 2 months probably. So, as you can see, the ground's pretty dry, but it's just a shallow trench. I just don't want to be tripping over this thing. So, shallow trench, make it easier to repair if need be, or move. And it means I won't mess with any of the sump pump or anything like that that's any deeper. So yeah, so we've got the trench dug for this little section, and now we're going to put it in and backfill on top, and then we will finish the connections and go along the fence to the final destination. Time to install these elbows, compression fittings. And I want it to go like that, and then to the fence, and then along the fence. Alright, it's very dry, so I'm having a hard time getting the stakes in. Switching to the mallet. And as you can see, that did something. But ground is harder than the mallet, apparently. Sorry, than the metal. And we have a little animal burrow here I will fill in later. For now, let's just keep moving this thing along the fence. And as you can see, we're about halfway there. So, and that's a perfect spot. I'm going to put in a T-connector and have it go around the vine here. Okay. Alright, got to the end of my first reel. I did one test, made a little loop around the raspberry, and now I think I'm going to bulk install all of the tee-offs for each plant all the way around. I think that'll be the most efficient, and then we'll go from there. Alright, and here we go. This one's for the apple. Nice and easy. And then we just make sure we slide this over, put that on, and twist on. Same thing for this side. Slide that on. Get the threads caught. Twist that so it's the right way, roughly. And there we go. Alright, got all the tees installed. It's starting to get hot. And now it's time to stake in the main line. The rest of the main line, that is. And so we'll just be working on that. And here, I'll show you. Alright, let's see if you can see this. We've got basically clay cement. The 3-pound mallet, and it's not going anywhere. So I might have to wet this and come back and re-stake this at a different time. But in the meantime, I'm gonna try and get some in just to place hold so that it doesn't move too much. All right, so drip system's in and it's operated. It ran for an hour. I think this one's fine in terms of level of water, but I'm going to check the in-ground ones and make sure it's getting where it needs to go. Nice and moist. These half-gallon per hour drippers are designed for infiltration, so the water doesn't run off before it sinks in too much. So, despite the heavy clay soils, as you can see here, it should be infiltrating as well as it's able to. And yeah, as you can see, it's getting down in there. Which is good. It looks like there's some ants already trying to get on this thing, but they're just using it as a highway. I think I'm gonna mulch over these at some point. Okay, so I made a few of these wider. This is the persimmon one, and I was going for a little bit of a wider berth on this guy. And this one may need to be reconfigured. Let's see. As the soil is looking pretty dry there, but there's some moisture in there. Maybe over time it'll be able to penetrate towards the center, and if not, we'll reconfigure that. This is another small one, and then as you can see, the drip line goes around the back of the shed. Over to here, which is the sunniest, driest part of our yard, these nectarines really started showing some stress signs this week. Here you can see a little bit of red, and it's just really, really hot right here, super intense. And this one, almost every leaf started this spotting more recently, but now that we got this drip system in, I think they're gonna do a lot better, a lot more consistent, because we were having to manually water these, and they're the furthest away, so you know, makes us liable to water them less than we should. But yeah, this guy's looking good. This one's not as heat stressed. This is a Mandarin, so they kind of like it. And then at the end here, I just used one of these little fittings, trimmed it. I left a little bit of tail to work with, but other than that, that's the drip system, and everything's looking pretty good. This is pretty moist. This one, as you can see, I gave a huge wide ring. I'm really interested in trying this tree out, or these fruits. This is called the Double Delight, allegedly the best nectarine flavor wise of all time, which is something I'm very interested in, as nectarines are my favorite fruit, I believe. And yeah, this one's got a lot of moisture. So the way you control this system is there's little emitters here, and the more emitters you put, the more half gallons per hour you get. So this one should have got, I don't know, roughly 8 gallons. There's about 16 emitters on there, so it should have got 8 gallons in this hour, right down in that soil. And that one over there probably got about 4 gallons. So that's the drip system. Wasn't too tough of an install. Oh, one more thing. We've got these potted blueberries, and I wasn't sure if I was going to have enough of this half gallon per hour drip line to get them, so I'm planning on doing some of the, maybe getting some 1/4 inch just like black lines and putting like a single emitter in each of these, but I'll have to figure that out. The next step is going to be figuring out the frequency with which we need to be running this drip system.